Okay. Nemesis. This is going to be a hard one. This is why it's a problem when we get a game that's out for a while. We get accelerated banners. This wouldn't have been a difficult choice if Nemesis was coming out like 3 or 4 months later. Most people would say pull for her for sure, but now that she's here on release, it's a more difficult choice for low spenders and free to play. So I will try my best to help you reach a decision. Hopefully. Maybe? Oh god, I'm doubting myself. Anyways, let's look at reasons why you would want Nemesis and why you wouldn't want to pull for Nemesis. The absolute number one main reason why you would want her, and the reason why she's in every core Volt element team build, is because of her Volt resonance. So you know how you get weapon resonance by equipping certain roles? You can only use this resonance with Nemesis because it's literally her passive effect. It's attached to her. You don't get her, you don't get this buff. The other reasons that would make her good is that she's a healer and she's a buffer while doing some decent damage. The third reason, well, probably because you like her design or you liked her backstory, and that's alright as well. Most people will probably have a character they would die for in this game. Alright, so those are the main points. I don't personally have her in China, but I will provide sources of people who do have gameplay of her and will explain some more detailed points about her skills and animation. So if you want information, go check them out. So let me tell you the reasons why you don't want to pull for Nemesis. Remember in my previous video where I said don't make mono elements early? Yeah, the only reason why you would want her in your weapon set is for Volt teams. The good thing is that you only need 2 elements to activate her resonance effect for Volt attack. So you can take another element. Even then, it might not be worth over Tsubasa, who can buff literally everyone, and she's easier to get duplicates. This is why I said if Nemesis released months later, when most people will start to think about branching out to specific elements, then it would have been a less difficult choice. So the second reason why is, you know how I told you she can heal, has very strong buffs, and also do decent damage? Well, you need duplicates for most of that. Obviously, that's no problem for whales, but for free to play and low spenders, it's something we gotta think about before pulling any SSRs. The third reason why is because she's unlimited featured SSR, and as a free to play or even low spender, we don't like things that are limited unless it's easy to obtain. Once she's gone, she'll be gone for a while. But that also means she might be one of the first reruns and also one of the first that will be in the standard banner rotation. Well, besides Cobalt B and Claudia. But by then, you would actually think about pulling for her. Now that we got all those reasons out of the way, let's talk about if you should pull for her as a whale, a dolphin or a low spender, or as a free to play. So first up, and the easiest to explain, whales. You already know what to do. Don't need for me to explain anything here. Just get her to 6-star and call it a day. She provides huge Volt attack buffs at 5 and 6-star, and obviously super worth to get her as a whale, especially because you will probably be making strong element teams early. Next up, we got dolphins. So I would categorize dolphins are like low spenders, but will start to put a lot of money in if they know the banner is worth it, or if there are good expensive deals or bundles floating around. I would say she is worth it if you're going to have more than one solid weapon set to switch to. Maybe get her to 3-star if you want some decent DPS, or just 1-star for the heals. Obviously, if you're also thinking about how much money you're going to put in the future with other SSRs, then I would hold back a bit just because she's not the only one with resonance. There's still 3 other characters that fill the role of each element resonance, and there's also other very strong characters as well. Alright, so low spenders. This one is a little bit debatable. Since the banner is going to be out for 3 weeks, I would hold off until the last week to see how much black crystals we can obtain from future events or other activities, and what the progress is on our weapons. If it looks like you're gonna have abundance of black crystals with some red nuclei and your team is leaning towards Volt, then I would consider using it if you have enough for a guarantee, which is 120 of the duplicate token currencies in the shop. Just know the more you complete achievements and explore the map for black crystals, the less you get. So most of the time we are gonna have to rely on our weeklies, PvPs, events, and really good cheap bundles to get more crystals or red nuclei. Like I said before, there are going to be other strong element resonance SSRs, and you might want one of those instead if your team is leaning towards a certain element. Finally, we got free-to-play players. The simple answer is no unless waifu. The more complicated answer is maybe, but it depends on certain conditions. So I would do the same thing as what I said to low spenders, which is wait until the last week to see if you obtained a lot of black crystals and red nuclei from events. And if your team is heavily going into a Volt team, like, I mean, you're just getting dupes at this point, then I would consider Nemesis. Other than that, I don't recommend pulling for her for now. Like I said previously, she might be one of the first banners to get a rerun, and also might be one of the first to be added to the standard banner at a later date. As free to play, you have to think about the long-term investments, and with Nemesis being a limited character for now, it's not something we should consider if we're looking to make a more balanced team early for the overall content of the game. For example, let's say you pull her once, but as time goes on, you might get Tsubasa duplicates, or you will start building Claudia to 6-star, which are easier to obtain since Tsubasa is going to be in the standard banner, and Claudia is probably going to be in the banner earlier than Nemesis. Would you really take Nemesis that you were only able to pull once versus a fully invested SSR that you spent months on? Well, maybe on some occasions, but most of the time you won't be. Nemesis is a SSR that's worth pulling, but there are lots of SSRs that are worth pulling in the future. So as a free-to-play, you can't be going around pulling every SSR that people say is worth. If you did, then you would have to pull this one, and this one, and this one, and all of these. In the end, weigh your options, see how long you think you're going to be playing, how much time investment you're going to be putting in, and what SSRs are most fun to you. I hope this video was at least somewhat helpful and help you decide on what you should be doing moving forward with the Nemesis banner. I'm Frank from L4PQ, and I'll see you next time. Bye!